Ukor ogejsot. Po jakiemu to?
Ugejsod?
Ale gdzie? Co ty czytasz?
Ogejsot.
Ukor ogejsod.
I was born in Poland in early 2005, in a pretty irrelevant town in the south. Fun fact, it was actually named after horseradish. Us Poles love food no one else wants to eat. I grew up, went to nursery. I was one of those kids who always got chased by girls in the playground. Made friends with my brother from another mother. Love you, bro. And I was in good terms with everyone else on my block. Life was amazing looking at it through the lens of an innocent and curious young man. And then we moved.
Thank you for that fantastic. Thank you for that fantastic act. I could really feel the beat in my legs right now, but I'm not a very good dancer, so yeah, they are things to be ashamed of.
In roughly 2012, our plane touched down and a whole new life for me and my parents was about to begin. I think it's safe to say I didn't take it so well. Not knowing the language and having all my family and friends, an unimaginable distance away felt crazy. I was dreaming. Soon I'd learn the language, not from lessons but from listening. Kids have superpowers, man. Fast forward, I'm still here, 12 years later, lucky me. But some things have gone dormant, unsolved, unattended to. Something I either was avoiding or didn't have time for. That being my identity, my cultural identity.
No. Jakby wiesz, nie wiem. Komendancie, Darth Vader za nami. Odpalcie rakiety. Ale z tym ja ten, no. Patrzę. Jak jakieś ryby na dopływanie pod tym. Co myślę, kto puka? No.
Culture was such a wishy-washy word for me. It kept being the topic of discussion, but I always was too immature or disinterested to take part in it completely. Completely unaware, I'd find myself torn between cultures and very affected by it. To me, it was the quirks each country had. Obviously now I know it's much more than that. I used to visit home at least twice a year, every summer and every Christmas, and I remember the joy of seeing everyone again, being able to communicate so freely. Even simple things like seeing familiar roads or playgrounds. Poland's outwardly culture was unescapable. The distinct Christmas tradition, fasting, the 3-day celebration, hay under the tablecloth, the extra seat for the wanderer, wafer breaking, the 12 dishes, Christmas spirits and devils, Easter breakfast, palms, the New Year's bearded men. Even though I've seen it all so many times, it felt beautiful. It still does. However, I noticed that as time went on and the more I visited, the less comfortable I felt. I was confused to why that would be, but I'd never question it. After all, leaving this place caused me so much pain to begin with, so surely there's something wrong with me. I wouldn't even take into consideration any changes, but I couldn't stop them from happening. I started to take much longer to formulate sentences, Some wouldn't make sense, some would convey the wrong message, some would cause fights and arguments. I started feeling generally anxious outside. The way my family interacted with me was also very limited. Contact with my best friend still remained, but a positive interaction with anyone else my age felt lucky. The humor, the topical discussions, my general confidence, I was falling behind. It seemed like the more I came back, the less I had to look forward to, and the less I had keeping me there.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, these videos are gonna have to kind of look a little bit different now because my microphone's broken and I have to buy a new one. Kill me now, please.
Out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. Look at this beautiful motherfucker up there. Look at him. And you wanna die.
Okay, okay.
Meanwhile, in England, I thrived. It was the home of all my creative works and the rest of my friends. But it's not like things were much different. I never could relate to British culture. I loved the diverse melting pot of cultures you can see just walking down the street in Central. But I knew that I wasn't part of that. I never cared for royalty. I'm not a fan of British food. I'm not big on pubs. I'm not even a football guy. I'm being a bit on the nose here. I know British culture is much more than that, but the reason I felt so free is that nothing is ever the same and people are keen on entertaining your creative dreams way more than in Poland.
That was sick. Well done, mate.
Oh, gee. Hello. Hello. Where's Jonah? Go. Where's Jonah? Hello. Yeah, I'm good. He surprised me.
Weź to zrób to, że jak ty idziesz tu, a ja idę tu tak,
You sure you don't want to drink?
Don't get that shit out of my face, bro.
Are you sure you don't want to drink?
No, I want to go home.
So this leaves me torn between two cultures I have some kind of attachment to, but simultaneously none at all. It left me in a cultural limbo. I can't imagine staying in England for the rest of my life, but I can't imagine moving back to Poland either. You'd think as an immigrant I'd be on one side or between the two, but instead it looks something like this. I think there's many reasons for this, partly because I spent my teens here, partly because my family has their own shit to do rather than cater to me, partly because I had to assimilate to fit in. Either way, I'll still love Polish tradition, Polish cities and its mountains, my family and my friends, my childhood memories, but always be drawn to the family I made here in England, its creative hub and diversity, or even something as simple as my own room. I'll live, I'll grow, I'll change, and along the way I'll pick apart the pieces to make this feeling of limbo disappear. This video isn't made to educate, to teach, or to entertain, but to express. This is how I felt, this is how I feel, and despite knowing how proud some Poles are, I know some feel something similar. Originally, this video was supposed to be something completely different, but it's evolved into something that's close to me, and I hope it will be close to some of you too. Thank you for listening.